Noon. Before we take questions on the topic that we gathered here today on Roosevelt Island to discuss the future of Empire AI, I want to first address the situation at Columbia University. I visited the campus last week, sat down with security personnel, NYPD, the college president, as well as students who were fearful. We've been engaged intensely all this week. My team has been having many, many conversations. And all across the state, every campus, we have to ensure that everyone on that campus is safe. That is our number one priority. I will reiterate what I've said before. Every American has a First Amendment right to peacefully protest and assemble. And many students we know have very strong convictions, strong beliefs about what has taken them to protest. We don't have to agree with them. That's not always how it is. But when actions cross over into vandalism, harassment, destruction of property, or even violence, then the line has been crossed. A few of the individuals participating in last night's actions, they forced staff from their jobs, students from the security of using buildings. They broke windows, barricaded exits, and these individuals are clearly breaking the law. There must be accountability, whether that's disciplinary action from the school or from law enforcement. Again, our number one job is to keep students safe. There are 30,000 students at Columbia University. Vast majority are not involved in the protests. There are Jewish students who feel threatened and harassed right now. And there have been times when Arab and Muslim students have felt the same over the last year. There are students who agree with the protesters, but left the encampments under fear of suspension. And the vast majority of them are young people who simply want to finish out the semester, study for their exams without interruption, and in some cases, graduate. All of them deserve to be safe. So what we need to do is de-escalate the situation, restore a sense of normalcy on campus, and ensure that every student is safe and unharmed. The state of New York has offered our universities any assistance should they need them. But I've also sent a notice to our colleges and universities. Every student deserves to celebrate at a commencement. We have seen across the country other schools have canceled commencements, denying these students who were also denied the opportunity to walk across their stage 4 years ago because of the pandemic as high school students. They have a right to graduate. They have a right to celebrate with their families, and in many cases, these families have traveled long and far to be here, to congratulate their children on the extraordinary accomplishment that would lead them to that place. They've worked hard, and they should not be denied this opportunity because of the actions of others. So I've offered my support from the administration to all of the universities to find a path to make sure that there are security measures in place and advise them in ways to make sure that in-person commencements can move safely forward. Let me close with this. We are gathered here on Roosevelt Island. Just steps from here is Four Freedoms Park. Reminded of Franklin Roosevelt's comments about the freedoms that Americans are entitled to. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. All of these freedoms are essential. We have a right to speak and to worship, but it must be done without fear. As my predecessor, FDR, made clear, that is what everyone deserves, and will ensure that that is the case. Happy to take any on-topic questions at this time.
Can we start with anything about the AI announcement from today? About AI?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What is the contribution of the state and private sector to the consortium?
Well, it's a $400 million total investment. $250 million for the capital improvements at a SUNY institution, University of Buffalo, $25 million to cover the SUNY share. It's $25 million per institution to participate. The others, initial institutions are also contributing at that level. $50 million has come from the Simon Foundation to cover the cost of CUNY to participate, as well as the private sector coming up with over $175 million to add to this. So in less than 6 months, we have garnered the support of the private sector, brought in universities, and the state, with the passage of our budget, now has the resources necessary to do something which is quite extraordinary, to make available the supercomputing power of AI available to every student who wishes to avail themselves of it in the state of New York. This is a great equalizer. It is going to create great opportunities for jobs and commercialization, new jobs, new entrepreneurs. And so it's a very exciting day to be here to announce that we got this over the finish line in the budget just a couple weeks ago.
And why do you decide to have it on Roosevelt Island at Cornell Tech as opposed to another school?
Well, Cornell Tech is one of the signature, one of the early pioneers in this, and they have asked to be, it was convenient for us, and also it's right where Four Freedoms Park is. I saw the significance was important to me here as I've been reflecting on those very freedoms that we're all entitled to.
All right, anything else on AI? All right, let's move on to any off topics. We can start with you and then.
Governor, are you considering the use of the National Guard for Columbia or NYU?
What I've said all along is that we'll ensure the safety of all students, but the primary responsibility falls with the university. If the university decides to call in additional support, they have called in NYPD. NYPD has over 36,000 well-trained professionals who have already been engaged, who are available. So if the NYPD enters into a circumstance that they cannot handle, which I do not ever foresee, we have state police and other resources available. But the primary responsibility does fall with the policing agencies where municipality is, or locality is.
One more? Anything else? All right, thanks everybody.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you coming out.